Hello everybody, it's a new month and you know what that means, a new episode of Challenge Chats. How exciting. The guest joining us today will be our one and only Grace, our summer marketing intern. Now before we get into this episode, I do want to voice first and foremost our excitement to be kicking off our program year here very soon. I want to give our YouTube channel a shout out as well. We are continuing to develop interesting and inspired content on there, so make sure to keep your eye on our YouTube channel over these coming months for lots of new series and interesting videos. Now, with no further ado, let's get ourselves into this interview. Okay, now we are in an interview with somebody really special. You guys might have seen her in a teaser or a TikTok or on our Instagram or on a live stream. And that is Grace. Grace, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Bryce. How are you?
Good. So do you want to tell them anything about yourself, Grace, and what you do here and anything like that?
Yeah, so I'm the digital marketing intern, so I make a lot of social media posts on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok. You might have seen me on TikTok. And so I'm just working on some new things for the theme next year and just making sure we're staying trendy and things like that.
Yeah, and an interesting fact is, what grade are you going into this year?
I'm going to be a senior, so I'm going to 12th grade.
Yeah, so I think that is one of the biggest things with you as well, as you got to work here in 11th grade, which is kind of crazy, like coming out of your 11th grade year.
Yeah, I know, it was weird, like basically not a full-time job, but going straight, instead of being like a barista or something, I just went straight to being like something super important, so I'm excited.
Yes. So what made you interested here working at TCP? Because I will give them some inside baseball. We reached out to you because you did such an amazing job as a student influencer. But what made you say yes?
So I actually didn't know anything about the challenge program until I won an award. I won the $200 for community service at my fall assembly, and I was like, whoa, I just got money from this place. Like, what's this all about? So whenever I became an influencer, I loved doing the media, because at school we have more requirements on what we're allowed to make, but this was kind of like anything I really wanted, as long as we sent it past you and then it got posted, and I was like, this is cool that I kind of had creative freedom and stuff like that. Yeah. So I really liked it, and I'm in a lot of media clubs and stuff at school, so I've always been super interested in that, and so I was like, I might as well doing what I love this summer for a job. I think that'd be pretty sick. So
yeah, we definitely noticed that, because whenever you do anything for the influencers, all the content that you would make with us would be super engaging and very interesting and very stylized.
Yes, I love that kind of stuff. And also, that makes me want to get more students excited about the challenge program, just because I was so excited when I won it, and so I want more kids to feel like that, because I feel like some people don't even know about it, and then whenever they do, they get super excited. So I want to be that for other students, if that makes sense. Yeah,
that's the thing. You didn't really know much about the challenge program until you won an award, which I think says something. You want to spread that around, because you're so many kids that haven't won awards could, if they maybe just knew about us and knew what to do.
Yeah, I agree. And also, winning the award made me apply for Student of the Year or apply to be an influencer. It made me want to get more involved. I have a chance to win this, and I actually know about it. Yeah. So I think even the Commitment to Community Service Award and Student of the Year Award, more students would be applying if they really knew about it. So that makes me excited to be an influencer for that. Yeah.
So how was it being a student influencer, and what did you learn from it? And also, just so nobody gets any wires crossed, you're still going to be a student influencer here in your senior year. And actually the president of the student influencers, which was pretty big.
Super excited, yes. I loved it. I got to connect with a lot of student influencers from other schools I did not even know existed, which was fun. And it was something to look forward to outside of school. I know we had a student influencer Zoom meeting after school, and something that wasn't school related, that I can still put media, my love for media into it, if that makes sense. So I really did like it. Got me to connect with people I didn't even know about, and I made close friends from there, like Zoe, I didn't even know she danced, and so we got to like become close from that. So I really liked it.
Yeah, and I think that's a big thing too, is you got to experience students who like also weren't super into media. Like some of our student influencers are more just like into stuff like dance or performing, and so they like being behind the camera, but they're not as into the social media aspect, and so they help us in that way, that they can be good like on-screen personalities and be interactive and work with us on projects.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's cool to be able to work as a team. Not everyone likes the exact same thing. And so we all kind of like go together because we all have a different aspect that we like to make TCP better than it already is.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Now, speaking of, so you got this amazing experience being a student influencer, and you got to learn a lot of stuff about the challenge program. So I wanted to ask, what were some things that you wanted to share about what the challenge program has impacted you with being a student influencer and being able to do stuff like that?
I think the greatest thing about TCP is that they really want students to succeed. Like, I think a lot of other places that give awards like that, they're just looking for the best students to make their company look good. And I think that the difference is that, like, watching people around the office having a meeting, like, how much everyone cares, how much time, effort that they put into, like, making students feel motivated and wanting them to succeed is really cool. Like, I want students to know how much time TCP puts into that.
Yeah.
And like, there's an award for everyone. It's not just specifically who's the best or who's the smartest.
Yeah.
I think that's what I learned the most about TCP.
Yeah, a good gauge of insight is we have 135 schools. It's a lot to manage sometimes, but we definitely have people who they were not even like on the list to win an award the previous year, and they built that up. They either improved their grades that much or did that much community service or made sure their attendance was perfect that other year. And it's crazy to see students come up from nowhere to win these awards. It's really awesome to see little stories like that, or students that were just at the cutoff, like a student that just missed one day of school and so they didn't win the attendance award or something like that, and they were like, next year I'm not missing a single day, and then they don't and they win it. And they just get to like enjoy that and really be like, I did it. You know?
I do think that's another thing, is that a lot of students aren't motivated to win other kinds of awards just because they're like, oh, I haven't had a 4.5 GPA and in 30 different clubs since I was in 7th grade. So they're not even thinking about applying for just other certain scholarships or awards. But like at TCP, though, like I can just show up to school and win an award. Like that motivates them. Like that, not that it's easy, but it's achievable for them. Yeah.
I don't know if we ever shared it with you before or not, but there's one story of this. She was a firefighter at her local school, and she didn't know that those volunteer hours like counted for our community service. Yeah. So she came up to us afterwards and she was like, I do a lot of community service, but I get so busy because I volunteer for the fire department. And we were like, that's community service. Yeah. Or like, you're busy with other community service, but you're also busy with more community service. Yeah. And she was like, oh, really? So she turned in all her hours, and the next year she won the Commitment to Community Service Award because she had a crazy amount of hours. Or the Community Service Award. And she just had a crazy amount of hours working all these shifts with the fire department and helping them out and doing all these other little projects. So right there, she probably could have won it the year before too, but she didn't turn in her hours or do that kind of stuff. And it's like, sometimes it's just knowing that you have to do that.
I know. The person who won from my school the Academic Improvement Award was not expecting to win it, because I talked to him after and he was like, no way. Like, I had no clue that like I was even in the running for this, or that like me actually working hard in my classes would get me an award. Like, I figured that people who just got all 100s get an award. I was like, no. And so a lot of our friends were like, I have the possibility to win this next year if I work harder, or if I like care about my classes more. Then there's the opportunity. Instead of just trying to get 108, you don't have to have the best grades to get an award.
Yeah, and it's so important. That's why we want to share the information, because some people just don't know that.
Yeah,
and so they're missing out on $200, or missing out on Student of the Year, all this other stuff. So it's important that we like spread that.
Yeah,
which Grace has been very important. So now, of course, everybody's been seeing all your content on TikTok and Instagram and everything like that, but they don't know that you've also been helping us with some internal stuff, like helping to redesign our program for this year.
Yes.
Pick out our theme, which is now out and about. All of you should definitely check out the release video on TikTok on Facebook and Instagram. And so, are you kind of excited to see some of your designs that you worked on out and about in the schools.
Yes, I'm excited and also nervous. It doesn't really feel real yet since we're not back in school. But like the fact that so many students that I don't even know will see my work, not just in my school, but like all of the schools, is crazy.
Yeah.
And like even whenever I'm on Instagram or I'm on Facebook and I come across the TCP page and I see something, I'm like, I have to remind myself that I'm the one who made that. It's weird seeing my own work out there because that's never really happened to me before.
You see a post and you go, wow, that post is so cool. Like, I wonder who made that. Oh, me.
I'm like, whoever made this must be really cool.
Yeah. That's so funny. But yes, that's super exciting because you helped redesign our business banner, our social media banner, and our Student of the Year banner. So all three have your touches on them.
Yes, I know. I'm excited to see them hanging up.
Yeah, it will probably be extra weird to see it in your own school.
I know. I agree.
Because that would be a really personal experience.
Yeah, walking down the hallway, like if I hear someone comment about it, I'm going to be like,
yeah,
extra ears turned on.
Yeah, they have some critiques. You're like, oh.
Oh, I didn't make that.
Yeah, you're like, I'll take that feedback.
Yeah.
That's funny. So what are some things you've learned on your internship? We're getting towards the end of the summer here, so your internship is slowly trotting towards an end here. So what have you learned? Like, what experiences have you taken away?
I feel like I could say so many things like time management, responsibility, problem solving, things like that. But I think the biggest thing, like I feel like everyone always says those are like the big three, but like the biggest thing I think I've learned is that putting in the work makes a difference. Like knowing that at school you just hit the requirements, then you turn it in. But here it's like whatever I make is going to be on social media for people to see. So if I really want to like get us more followers or get more, I guess, more students involved, then I really need to put in the work. And that does make a difference. Like things that I've spent more time on, I notice get more publicity, things like that, than things that I don't put as much work into. And I think that like knowing that the work that I put into the banners and things like that are going to be all around the school and I can be proud of like the work that I did is something that I learned a lot. Plus also like just responsibility, like making sure I turn it or get everything done on time, or like time management, knowing like if I only have one more day left to work this week, then I need to get everything done, just kind of scheduling around that. I think I learned a lot, especially this being like my first real job. Yeah.
Have you liked the culture around TCP, like your coworkers and everything?
Yes, I really do.
I'm not asking this just because I'm one of them.
I do. Our little trips to get tea and things like that, I really love it.
Yeah, we have a little tea shop out by our offices, so over lunchtime we'll take a small adventure over to get some coffee or tea.
Yes.
To give us the midday peps.
And they know us because we go so often.
Yeah, they go, Grace, what's up? We're like, oh, nothing. You know, that's funny. So are you excited to lead the student influencer group this next year? I'm sure it's a little stressful sometimes.
Yes, definitely stressful, but I am really excited, especially because new kids that are coming in, they don't know as much about TCP like that I've learned through the past year, I guess. And so like being able to be the one to like help them learn it and get them involved is super exciting. Yeah. And I'm just excited because like having a leadership role is like, I don't know, it's a lot of responsibility. So
and this being your senior year, you have some encouragement to foster the next president as well, because somebody's going to have to replace you after you graduate. So that'll be a big thing too, sharing your knowledge and making sure that everybody in the group is like informed and learns more. Yes,
and being able to like motivate them to want to be the president, or like to motivate them to want to motivate other students, the new students, like kind of moving up the tower, like they'll become me next year, which is exciting.
Yeah, you brought a lot to like the challenge program. What interesting things have you seen like working on our Instagram and TikTok and everything like that? What is something that you've like taken away from working on a bigger social media platform like that?
I think the biggest thing is like knowing what people like. So like if people like post more certain things that we post, or like even certain little things like where the text is on the page or things like that, like noticing that. I mean, like on my own personal account, I just post what I want.
You don't think about like the little things like that.
Oh, like the filter on this is gonna make more people like it. Like I don't think about that, but it's just like also the things like what's eye-catching for students, or what's going to make them want to like this or comment this or get excited for the school year. That's also something I've learned to look for, like different principles of like media, which I didn't really know before this job. I just made things creatively. So
is it crazy to think that like students from across multiple states like see some of your work?
oh my gosh, I didn't even think about multiple states, but yes.
Yeah, challenge program
crazy.
3 states and a lot of counties. I can never keep count.
Yeah, that is crazy. And that they're probably like, who is this random girl on our page now?
Yeah. She's doing dances. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Well, I'm happy that you've enjoyed your experience. Of course, we're really excited for you to be president of the student influencers. That would be so exciting.
Yes, I'm super excited.
And the school year's coming to an end. Now, I want to the school year's coming to a beginning. And I want to remind everybody to be really excited because we have our theme out there now.
Yes, go look at it.
Yes. And starting in September, we're going to already be scheduling a lot of our assemblies, so make sure to keep your eyes out because your assembly might be coming to your school sooner than you think. And make sure to look at those social media banners and student of the year banners and business banners because obviously Grace got to be influential in making those. So make sure to enjoy them, maybe even take a picture of them and tag Grace in it. But yeah, are there any final thoughts that you want to share with any of the students or teachers or people listening, business partners listening to the podcast?
I just think stay motivated. Know TCP is there for you. Everyone here at TCP cares about you. They're wanting you to stay motivated and successful. Just keep working hard. Do what you do best.
Yeah.
That's all I think.
Okay, thank you so much, Grace.
Thank you.
Thank you all for joining us for this episode of Challenge Chats. If you want to learn more about our student influencer group or want to become involved in the student influencer group, make sure to check out our student page on our website, tcpinc.org. And for all things Challenge Program, make sure to check out our YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you next month.